Good evening, Facebook. Good evening, YouTube. It's the Ignorance is No Excuse podcast, coming to you live Thursday night here from Morris County. Uh-oh, I just broke my headphones. What's up, everybody? I had a co-host here. They walked out. No, they seriously walked out. I'm trying to fix some problems, and I guess some people don't want problems fixed, and it's, oh well, what can I do? I tried. We got a good show for you tonight. We're coming to you live from Morris County. It's the Ignorance is No Excuse podcast. We're going to play our intro song coming up here. I'm just not prepared for tonight, but I wanted to be on time starting at 7:10. And this is why. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Vape 'em if you don't. All right, boys and girls. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. It's evening time. Get out your bongs, get out your rigs, get out your lighters, get out all the stuff you need. It's time for a sesh. So get together and have some fun. We got Bungholio in the back. Bungholio in the back. Got Bungholio in the back. We got Bungholio in the back. Lava lamp's going strong here. We got the salt lamp going strong here. Got my dipper. We got my dipper. Doing some dipper dock dabbing. We might have a few guests on the show tonight. We might have Jeff Sessions. Your old pal Jeff Sessions might be back. And a new character. What the hell's that new character's name? Oh, yeah, Ricky Shitdick. Ricky Shitdick. Bungholio in the back. Bungholio's in the back. Yeah, I'm going to hit Bungholio later. He's right over here. I got to hit Bungholio. I love that thing. Best art activism ever. So yeah, Honeyb is having a podcast this month. Coming up on the 29th, I believe. So she's all getting set up today. I watched her in her studio before. It's a lot nicer than mine, I tell you. My studio's, if I took my camera and showed you this studio, you'd be like, what the hell? All right, I'll show you here. I'll embarrass myself. You can point and laugh at Lefty. You all love pointing and laughing at Lefty. Watch this. This is the table, all right? This is just the table. All right, this isn't so bad, right? You got the mixing board, and then you got this huge mess over here. It's just crap. It's horrible. I know. And look, Infinity. You want to see Infinity? Here. Let's play all the games. Oh, Infinity's cool, man. Yeah, so look. Oh, we got a magical butter machine. And all this mess, all this crap that you got look at this. All this crap here. But then there's a beautiful magical butter machine. It's beautiful. Amidst all this crap. Look at this. Yeah, I mean, I know. I'm sorry. I'm embarrassed. I need to clean this mess. I cleaned off the table, and this is how I cleaned off the table. I just threw everything and look, my keyboard's even. It gets worse. Look, underneath. It's horrible. I know. I'm a slob. And look, laundry over there. You're not seeing the whole studio. I'm just going to show you the whole studio. I'm tearing down the fourth wall here so you can see the whole. Yeah, it's disgusting. Like the Bungholio's here to take the attention off everything else behind him. There's all the junk back there. So, yeah, and there's my bed. It's just a mess. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to see this, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me. Putting it back. Hold on. I need an engineer. Okay. All right, so let's get back to our mission at hand here. We have a mission from God here, and we have to help the sick and dying people of New Jersey because nobody else seems to be helping them. So it's up to us to get together and fight. And Jim Miller and Joanne Zito have been so hard fighting this thing. Amazing fighters, and they're getting together and making a great team here. So I'm on board with whatever they're doing. Anything they want me to sign, I'm going to do it. I'm going to call Jim right now and find out what else we can do to help out. Because Jim's the man. He's one of my mentors. He's awesome. I remember what he did with Cheryl Miller. That poor woman suffered. All right. I hope I can hear him. Is my phone working? Oh. I don't think it's ringing. Shoot. Really? Hey, Jim.
Please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hi, Jim. This is Lefty Grimes calling. Oh. Hey, Jim. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good. You're on there.
You're on the air.
I forgot which way that went this time.
I forgot. You beat me to it.
Yeah.
What's going on, buddy?
Oh, I don't know. This and that. You tell me.
Well, I see you're very busy with Joanne Zito, and you guys make a very formidable team. I'm actually afraid for the politicians right now because of you guys.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. And one of the main reasons is not just the diversity with which we have our own expertise, that we agree real quick on everything we need to agree with. I mean, in a split second. And that's what opponents should be worried about, the unified voice. You know, starting at the top and going to trickle down this time. That's why I drafted Ken, too. What do you think of that? I started a group, a petition with Joanne, and, of course, the petition being aimed squarely at Nick Scutari in the Senate, Herb Conway in the Assembly, the two main players, and why we don't have home cultivation. But we need a unified voice. Now, the unified voice, you have to have like a spokesperson. You know, I mean, that's kind of how it works, whether we like it or not. That is the playing field. And there's nobody better than Ken to be that person that has the capability of going between the commitment of the patients and being a nurse. He's certainly sympathetic to this cause on multiple levels. But he works well with his status in the community, the fact he's a registered nurse. Geez, he wears a jacket almost everywhere. You know, and he knows what he's talking about. And I don't like the way Senator Nick Scutari has ignored Ken and the Coalition for Medical Marijuana, especially over the last, say, 5 or 6 years. He was pretty good when he needed Ken to help him get a bill passed. He needed to work with Ken then. But since it got passed, the fixing it part, Scutari sucks at, and he doesn't work with Ken now. So I don't like it, and I aim to change that. And going to force him to have talks with Ken, which will then represent all of us. You know what I'm taking the most heat for, though, is the why only 6 plants? It's not enough. Yeah, like file that under no shit, Sherlock. You know, I have a hard time explaining the lowest common denominator to getting this bill into committee is to ask people to do the least amount of work to get it there, because legislators don't like to do work. They don't like to do research. They really don't like to write things up and, you know, be responsible. But Nick Scutari already did it. He already wrote the provisions. Now, to ask for 7 plants would be for him to change what he'd already done. I want to see how if he even considers arguing against what he did himself 10 years ago. And now it's 10 years later, we know 10 times more that it's not enough. Yet that's all we're asking for, what he promised then. Not even asking for more. Of course, the real result, if there is a result to be had, should be that he would be the one to increase the amount and to improve it, because it's 10 years later. He's got 10 years more stuff to go on, and I don't know, man. I'm done waiting. I'm hoping patients are done waiting. I'm hoping supporters are done waiting, and I'm mostly hoping that people who use it for social use don't stop advocating when it comes to patients. You know, it's not a timeout until the November when everybody gets to vote on it. Your turn.
I don't see many people advocating, though. That's the problem. I see a few.
Say again?
I see a few people advocating, but not many.
No. So my attempted solution to that is to make it as easy, simple, and cheap as possible. Okay, free, that's cheap. Easy, don't have to leave your home. Writing something, don't even have to do that, copy and paste. I have already written, at least a dozen variations of the letters that will be following the petition. See, the petition actually wasn't going to be the first step. That was going to be an add-on to trying to stimulate an email letter writing campaign specifically from constituents to their representation in Trenton, because they are the ones that might get answered. But legislators are good at blowing off people who haven't written them before, and I can really block a lot of their escape paths when it comes to that. So in the unified voice thing, I'm asking people to trust me and the amount of time I've been doing this and getting to know what works, what doesn't. Recognize the playing field whether you like it or not, And if people want to stand up to their own principles, do that. But that's being part of what I'm doing means, you got to kind of go along with this to get something done. It's you see it play out in Washington all the time. Holy crap, they're good at team play. We suck. We are like a herd of cats and they're a pack of dogs. One works together, one doesn't, and it's simple. I mean, it really is. There's already 13 people who voted for home cultivation besides Nick Scutari and his bill 10 years ago. 6 of them co-sponsored his bill, including Senate President Steve Sweeney. He co-sponsored a bill to allow home cultivation for patients 10 years ago. The pieces of the puzzle are all there. It's just, they got to be put together. And I figure I'd give it one attempt, and I've been talking about this for close to a year, waiting for the right time. Right time's now. The right time to be successful. Obviously, I like saying now is always the right time to do the right thing, and that's I don't know if it was Martin Luther King or civil rights in general, where that came from, or Martin Luther King in particular, but it applies now, And add on to that, I have what I call an insurance policy against looking back, usually at funerals or something, and wishing I'd done more, been there more often, done something different, wishing I'd taken a chance or hadn't been afraid. I mean, this is what people do, but I don't like doing that. And in Jeff Oak's case, I want this done in his honor, not his memory. And there is a clock ticking. And Jeff's law, I want it to be in committee. I want Jeff to know what that's like to have a bill named after him in committee, So time is important. So I started the clock, and people can help or not, but I'm very serious about this. This is the last thing I'm going to be doing, I'll talk on a podcast and stuff, but yeah, if I can't do this, then I'm done. I'm done wasting time on Facebook.
Right.
It's the only reason I'm there.
Yeah, you only have a certain amount of time and energy in life itself, and you can't waste it.
Yeah, it is finite.
Come on.
So I want to give people a chance. I don't want it to be a self-fulfilling prophecy when people say you can't get it done. It's a lot of times because they don't give it the right effort. And then I ask myself, what effort would I be giving this if Cheryl was alive? And I'm ashamed to say a lot more than I'm doing now. So, yeah, it's I don't know. Hell, it's all about me now. I want to be able to rest in peace while I'm alive. I don't want to wait to die for that. Everybody says, rest in peace when somebody's gone. Shouldn't we want people to rest in peace now? And they can't when they're sick and hurt.
You said that Jeff reminds you of somebody.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
You said Jeff reminds you of somebody?
Oh, yeah. I mean Cheryl every time I say that. Jeff, I don't know. This is when people know their time is at hand, and their reaction is to do more than they were doing for other people who will have longer than them. You don't see it in its truest form very often, and I'm seeing it now. And I saw it then, a dozen years ago, a couple dozen years ago with Cheryl. The willingness to literally die what you're doing for other people, and the fact that Jeff doesn't lack cannabis for financial reasons that he can't afford it. Can't afford it. Who can afford it? But people make arrangements, and sometimes they have family to help and other people to help. That doesn't mean they can freaking afford it. It means they're getting it one way or another, and he is able to do that. But he realizes how fortunate he is, and he doesn't enjoy being fortunate when others aren't. He is exactly like Cheryl in that. And, in a more metaphor, I like to think of a better example would be, and I think it was an old Die Hard movie, Bruce Willis or something, where, it's a big fight scene, big tall building, guy gets disposed of, and as he's falling backwards, the bad guy, he's shooting up at who pushed him out the window. He's falling down. He's going to die. He's taking shots at the guy on the way down. Anyway, sometimes I have to have a humorous way to look at things that make you want to cry, but that would be my way of looking at that. And I am so inspired by Jeff. I just can't rest anymore. It's eats away at me 24 hours a day now.
Yeah, he's out there fighting for us, so I got to support whatever he wants to do. I'm behind him. I was talking to him the other day. He tried a new medicine. It wasn't working for him. He got hives. He got his whole body turned red like a lobster. So he can't. He can't take that. The chemo's rotted away all his teeth, so he has to puree all his food now to eat.
Yeah.
It's killing. It's just horrible. I don't get it.
And yet he doesn't just stop helping.
No, he goes forward. He keeps going.
Well, it's hard to ask something of somebody, like Jeff at a time like this. But sometimes, between you, me, the lamppost, and anybody watching this, the video, just the last one you had of him, just simply telling it like it is. It's become so powerful. It's like what Cheryl knew, that her power of advocacy was inversely proportionate to her health. The worse her health got, the stronger she got as an advocate. This is what's going on with Jeff. Just him saying something commands attention. And there are going to be people putting up lame arguments to home grow. And we can guess what some of them will be. And I can't help wonder what Jeff would say to what they are going to say when he's not here to respond. And I can't help wonder what it would be like if we picked an amount of things we know, bullshit that's going to fly when it comes to home cultivation. And what would Jeff say about it? I mean, sometimes it could be something simple as, well, maybe it'll get into the hands of people who aren't patients. I'm not saying patients are going to sell it for a profit, but they can't be watching everything, and it could get into the wrong hands. I have no idea what anybody would say to that. If it were me, it'd be something simple along the lines of, if the goal is to keep cannabis from people who aren't sick, you got a point. If the goal is to keep people from dying in needless discomfort, you're full of shit. You know, now I can say that. That'd be one thing, but it'd be nice to whip that out as a reply if the statement ever came up, you know, basically leaving a few time bombs behind. And can you imagine the power? The power of, you know, look what happened with the governor when he saw Jeff, and, you know, you were there.
The whole room.
What was that like?
The whole room.
What was that like?
Yeah, it was. The whole room gasped. The governor gasped.
Remind us what it is that I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, we went and met the governor at one of his meetings, and I spent the day with his chief of staff and trying to get together a good question to get to the governor. And so when we showed up at this meeting, her name is Deborah. She helped us, and she kept our question in the pile, and I guess she gave it to him last. And read the question, which was, Governor, the state will allow me to kill myself, but they won't give me the cannabis that I need to treat my cancer.
And I heard people gasp in that video.
The room, just the vibe of the room was just like dropped to the floor. It was,
it's powerful.
Yeah.
And the governor wasn't ready for it.
No.
You know. But I think the governor, when he asked him now about can you afford your medicine, he was expecting / hoping for that he would say, no, I can't, because that would have been the governor's perfect political cover. But I don't think the governor gets it, that it is his perfect political cover. Somebody going to bat for people who have more time than him. And it's not because he's suffering because he can't afford to get cannabis for medicine. So shouldn't that be more reason for Jeff to not be doing these things? Yeah, and that's the way it works. You got your own. You don't go to the wall for the rest of your life for those who don't. That's just not working out, and that's the way it should be working out, and that's the way it has to work out if it's ever going to happen. And I've had enough, man. You know, I mean, I know we're all done waiting. We all say we're done waiting, and we feel like we're done waiting, and some of us are waiting for 1,000 people to each light a joint and smoke the governor out at his office, and we can keep on waiting for that because it ain't going to happen. But it's the simple things that's not getting done. The simple things, like, you know, I mean, I formed a little Facebook group today just so people, a way to invite people to spread this petition and circulate it widely, because the plan Joanne and I are involved in it's what comes after the petition that gets legislators' attention. They can outlast petitions every day of the week, but what they don't like is getting contacts from constituents about the petition they just signed and want to know if they're going to respond. As a constituent, they don't want that. And the last thing they want is more than one constituent getting in touch with an almost identical letter, except for one paragraph that tells in particular how it affects their family when they can't afford their medicine, or what their family can't do because they are affording their medicine. And then should a third letter come in, they know they have a problem. And then they go and they talk to other people involved, and they say, I've gotten a few letters myself. See, that can work. And you notice I'm saying 3 letters and 2 letters, not dozens, not if everybody wrote. My God, if I hear one more sentence that starts out with the words, if everybody, I'm going to freaking blow up. No, if everybody said that. Oh, my God.
Jim, I'd like to do a fundraiser.
For what purpose?
Well, here's the story. We were starting a PAC, but we don't have the money for a PAC. So we're going to start a 501c3. And
holy shit.
Yeah, because we don't have...
I'm sorry for interrupting. I know you'll remember what you're saying. I might forget what I was about to say. Mitch Hedberg. I was just watching last night, looking at the little old Mitch Hedberg one-liners, because I needed a laugh. I really needed a laugh. And he said, yeah, starting a fundraiser for a sign to count how much money you've raised.
That's a good idea.
No, but that's what it sounded like what you're saying, starting a group to raise funds, but I don't have the money. I need to raise funds. Yeah,
we're at a quandary here.
Yeah, what kind of funds are you talking about?
We need $5,000.
That's a bigger number than I would have expected.
Yeah, I got to make some phone calls. But I think a 501c3. Yeah, but you know what? I'm talking to the right.
Sorry for laughing at it. I picture you with your feet up in a cigar or maybe a spliff or something going at a nice office setting, you know. You hit a button. Hold on, put me on hold. Yeah, all right.
Oh, man.
Take this call. Yeah, so, well, you know, it's not like I can whip out a check because I haven't had a checking account since the last millennium.
Right.
You know,
but you have experience in a 501c3. So that's what we want to call it. Jeff's Law. This 501c3.
Yeah, it's I hope having hooked up with Ken and the right people to take care of that. I had 0.0 to do with getting us to be the 501c3. But you know how I love to say that. So not that I didn't help it. It's just. No, we're 501c3, nonprofit charitable organization. We've been standing in New Jersey for 15 years. Oh,
I love that. Yeah, you know that much. That's good.
Yeah, so, but I know that it took more than one or two minds of very high capability just to get it done and to keep on top of it, you know?
Jim, I know the secret. I know the secret to getting stuff done.
And then you got to know what you got to do to maintain it. It doesn't. You don't just get a 501c3. I mean, and not to, for instance, when I got arrested at that George Bush rally when he was getting reelected and came to New Jersey, and you know, when got arrested, making a point on purpose, and the coalition reimbursed me $400 for the court costs, and then found out that you're not allowed to do that. That's against 501c3 rules. So we got like some sort of reprimand, stern warning, double secret probation rules or whatever.
Ooh.
You know.
Wow.
Yeah, man. So you know, but that's why it also helps in situations when you're a 501c3. It's hard to exclude you on the grounds of we don't like what you do. You know. And, you have a little better standing and cost less to table and stuff like that.
Right.
But,
what do you got?
What's that?
Jim, what do you guys spend money on at CMMNJ? What kind of stuff do you do with the money? I know you've been helpful to me. You've given me like gas money and stuff for the podcast, but like what other kind of stuff? Yeah, that was very helpful.
Yeah, it's more of a lot of things on a small scale. Sometimes it takes reimbursement money for somebody to do something, and I don't mean necessarily from the coalition.
Right.
You know, but really, I would say that you have probably received as much help from the coalition as anybody. I mean, or more.
Yeah.
But that's because of your longevity too. Not, you know, I mean, a lot of times people are a one-shot deal. We sometimes, you know, spend money on tabling and don't make money back. You know, I mean, it's to get keep the gates open, so to speak. But we don't have anybody we subsidize on a regular basis of any kind. You can't do things. You can't spend. I forget what % of money you spend. You can't spend it on certain political activities. You can't endorse candidates. You can't spend money. You can't, you got to kind of remain neutral to a lot of that. But if I got to be really honest with you, you'd have to ask Ken, because sometimes I don't take the day-to-day interest in the workings of the coalition like that, like Ken and pretty much everybody else does. I'm more of the field operative of sorts. I don't know what to call myself.
Oh, we know what
anymore.
you are, Jim. you're the hammer.
Yeah. I'm on the board of advisors of Patients at a Time. And when Al Byrne and Mary Lynn asked me if I wanted to be on the board of advisors, I said, I'd love to, but what would my function be? And Al said, you just keep on doing what you do. That was his exact words, And then I relaxed and said, cool, so I still am. And, but they were the first real national organization, I think, for medical patients, much like Ken and I wanted here in New Jersey. So we kind of modeled ourselves after them to a degree. So here we are, looking homegrown in the face. Home cultivation. I said homegrown. I don't know. I'm trying. I seem to want to call it cultivation for legislators' ears. I'd like for instance, if a legislator says, what happens to the material that the patient is going to use? I mean, dispensaries have rules on what they have to do to get rid of overage, particulate that they don't want. There's rules. You just don't throw it out in the trash, for God's sake. What are patients going to do, I call it patient transfer, not co-op. They could transfer it to another patient who can't grow. So I was going to throw these shade leaves away. They are good for making balms and things. You could give it to another patient. You don't have to throw it away. And if somebody really wanted to know what would happen, say if the state wanted to have their own service to come by and pick up overage if patients called them, cool, whatever. How about that? Cost you money, but whatever. I mean, the state money, not the patient.
I know people that juice the fan leaves, so for their migraines. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot can be done with so much of the plant, but you do have to anticipate what people will say and why they wouldn't want it to happen, because they're to push back within the legislature. But what always amazes me is how legislators, when something like this happens, rarely wonder what's going on in other states that have similar laws or anything you could compare it to. That's the beauty of these United States. Out of all 50 of them, any one can go one direction none has gone before, as long as it doesn't directly, screw up rules of the federal government, which, of course, happened in this case. But they can do something, and the other states can take a look and see how it works. The other states can call their counterparts in those states and say, Assemblyman so-and-so, I'm from New Jersey, and I was wondering, what the hell do patients that grow their own do with the overage? Ask them. And why reinvent the wheel? I mean, it's the United States. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Somebody invented it. You look at it. You make it better if you can. You don't start from the beginning. And yet nobody does that. What legislators like to do is take trips, like Nick Scutari went to Colorado. What did he find out in Colorado he couldn't have found out on a telephone? Seriously. I mean, who's Nick Scutari in Colorado? Call him. Have a talk. But this is what I would be advising people to do. So, it might be well and good if I had somebody to delegate the task to. I'd say, hey, could we find legislators in other states through people we know in other states that would talk to legislators in our state? You know, like if we had a successful program going, and somebody called me and said, what legislator might my assemblyman call there? I'd give them a name. I mean, we could facilitate that better, you know. You know, if you said to any legislator, and you have a person for them to call from their own political party and another state who could allay their fears, wouldn't that be a good card to play? Yes, it would.
Yes, it would.
But I don't have time nor capabilities to actually do that, except for this is where social networking should be coming in handy. You know, I am on a couple of lists that I should be able to ask that question. If you know a legislator in your state and you have patients can grow their own, we're going to get some pushback here probably. Is there anybody there who could talk to fence-sitting legislators from New Jersey that I could give their number? I mean, the way it kind of works.
What states have referendums this year? Mississippi and Nebraska? No.
Kind of referendums.
Referendums on recreational cannabis.
Really? Any idea if home cultivation's included?
Yeah, I need to look that up. Is it Mississippi or is it? It might be Mississippi. One of them. Maybe Nebraska.
I just can't even believe some of the states that are doing all this. You know, Oklahoma's the one that really, really amazes me. They were probably one of the worst states in the country for cannabis laws of any kind when Will Foster was sentenced to 92 years in prison for 3 joints, I believe it was. It wasn't his first offense. And then they had, like, no chance to get the medical law passed. But when they finally did, are you aware? 1 in 13 people is a patient in Oklahoma. 1 in 13 residents, babies included. 1 in 13. Well, I don't know what we are here, but I can't tell you how many times more dispensaries they have in Oklahoma than freaking New Jersey. You know, it's such a big number. I wouldn't even take a guess because it would sound impossible. And because of that, they have competition, and the price there puts it to shame in New Jersey. And physicians can recommend for any reason they want, much like they can for anything else. So they really struck gold out there. I mean, 1 in 13 people, patients, prices down, and they can buy it virtually anywhere.
Wow.
I gotta go back to Oklahoma. I gotta see this. I mean, I lived there 3 years, you know, so I find that hard to believe.
Oregon's pretty nice too. Or, you know, what we pay for $20 here, you get for $1 there.
Oh my God! I know it's ridiculous. And the state has had a decade to bring it down and hasn't. It's when I say hasn't come down, it hasn't come down since the incredibly high prices when it first started. But the fact that other states have such more robust programs than we do, and it is more affordable. And those states where it's more affordable, they have home cultivation rights as well. Most of the states do. There's another trend that we started in New Jersey, the first state not to allow home cultivation by patients, and others fell in line. We owe them an apology. We owe them reparations. You know? Well, not you and me. You know?
You see, how do we get everyone together on the same page? Because what's happening is, okay, we're all for voting yes, cannabis, vote cannabis 2020. And then people are like, well, There's no home grow. Well, there is home grow in there. Well, there's no this. There's no that. There's only 7. It's how do we get everyone to just do one thing and get one thing done like Cosecha did with the licenses?
Oh, you say that like there's an actual answer. Sometimes they do, you know. I mean, I guess you got to try to take a cue from other groups, organizations, political parties, religions that all stick together, you know, and ask yourself why. I mean, how do they do that? And that's the holy grail. I have no idea. I do not know how to motivate people. Past a certain point,
I'm a doer.
Desensitized to it.
Yeah, I'm a doer. I just do things, and if you want to follow me, follow me. If not, hey, you know, whatever. But
that's pretty. Well, yeah, it's people have ideas, and that's good, but it seems a lot of the time is spent defending one's idea rather than actually thinking, is that right? I know I am, but what are you? You know, and stuff like that.
It's crazy.
Well, that's like, and then it won't be anything like what they say that's like.
And then it gets political, and then, you know, it's just down the road of Trumper and liberal, and it's just crazy shit after that. Whatever.
So this is the root of why I and then included Joanne, because it's impossible to do by yourself. I read a post from a little while ago, and what I was saying was when somebody says, well, why only 6 plants? That's not enough. I say, well, the answer to that is because I said so. Now, there is a longer answer, but it's not an answer, it's an explanation to the answer, because I said so. Why I said so is because that is something that has the absolute best chance of any other variation of getting written into a bill, rewritten into a bill, and into a committee. That's my goal, not anything else, not even the quality of the bill. A bill into committee. It can be made better in committee, just like Herb Conway screwed it up in committee. Can you imagine the reversal if Nick Scutari wrote this bill for 6 plants and Herb Conway changed it to 12? I mean, that would kind of not even things out for people who are dead, but it would help, you know, everybody else a little bit. And Herb Conway is my better half representation, and the letters she's sent him that I wrote for her to send him, the last one hadn't been answered, so I'm looking forward to Kathy's next letter, which is going to include a request that he sign the petition about himself. That's going to be fun.
Jim, you know the secret is the women are going to get this done. It's all the women. The other day we had 6 women on the phone doing our conference call for the PAC, and it was getting stuff done. All the women on the phone, they're much more mature than all the men that we deal with. I'm telling you, all the men that I've dealt with are more immature than me, and I'm pretty immature. So, yeah, being with mature women, I think that's the key, Jim. I think you figured it out with Joanne and with Kathy and with our group. I think we figured it out. Let the women.
Oh yeah.
And we'll be the little slave servants, whatever you want to call it. Bitch. I'll be the bitch. There you go. I'll be the bitch.
No, it's you're right about that. You're right about well, you're right about that too. But you're right about thinking back to a lot of things that took some real work, and with the 501c3 thing in the coalition, it was within the coalition. The lawyers within the coalition were able to take care of that because they're lawyers, not because they're guys, you know. But everything else, the groundwork, the phone calls, women, yeah. When we worked with the medical marijuana program director, John O'Brien, we were approaching it from the standpoint that hospice patients were dying without this medicine because it took too long for them to expedite the process because, well, they're in hospice, and it didn't start till they were in hospice, and, you know, it's an impossible situation. So They're to call hospice facilities and ask them some questions. I called about 18, and Vanessa Waltz and I'm forgetting now. I'll remember. I'll blame that on the medication, though. They both called like maybe 10 times more than me, 200 and some and 180. You know, they were relentless. I couldn't believe it because the pain it caused me just to call 19 places, I would do anything else other than that. So we got to recognize our own place. If I'm going to be a hammer, I'll be a hammer. You know, I'm certainly not going to be the one that actually facilitates the nuts and bolts of it. That's Ken when it's the coalition, and that's Joanne even within what the two of us are doing here now. But I am the one that's sitting down and writing the letters where, see, I can put myself in the position of a legislator and what I would or wouldn't want to happen, you know. And if it's what they don't want, it's what we do want, and vice versa. That's how I come to have success individually, nudging people, to put it mildly. So I remember when nothing else worked, and Frank Pallone, Congressman, had me, you know, ignored. He lied to Shirley, said he'd do something, and he didn't, and she died, and I couldn't figure out what to do about it. I had to slap him, you know, nothing worked. And then I looked at the front window of where I was residing and thought, what if I looked out that window and found someone with a sign calling me something, and they have the right to do it? That'd suck, you know. So I put that sign on the memorial wheelchair after Cheryl died and picketed his house where he lived, 1175 Oceanport, Ocean Avenue in Long Ranch. And yeah, when I picketed his house, I realized that is a little bit extreme, but I did it very respectfully and quietly. And that was it. He couldn't stand that at all. That broke him. That broke him instantly. And for others, it was far less. But right now, all that led up to that didn't work. I learned from, and right now I am quite sure we don't need thousands. We got 50,000 patients. I swear I've already heard it's everybody, and then, you know, I didn't scream, but it's hard to hear because it wouldn't be everybody. And if we have 5,000 patients, we don't even need 1% of those patients. We don't need 50 patients even. It can be done with less than that, but they all have to do the same thing. Now, you tell me how hard that is.
Jim, it's been insane. But like I said, I think we know the answer now. We found mature people to do mature jobs for mature people.
Yeah.
And I'll be the humble servant. I'm very happy being a cog and a humble servant. Tell me what you want me to do. I'm there. I'm good.
Okay, you know what? Actually, there will be one thing. I want you to help with a teaching moment for people. One of the what comes next things has to do with if one or two constituents isn't enough to get the attention and the discussion going. I'm not saying to do exactly what we ask, just to get the discussion going. And if that doesn't work, it will take the simplicity of going to a post office in the center of somebody's district, stating your case by way of a sign and just standing there where the post office says you may stand because they have to allow you that. It's your constitutional right to treat that as town center and address your grievances to the public. But they can tell you where you can do it and under what conditions. But it involves, you know, basically just want to get 5 or 6 people walking by in a 3-hour session between 9 and 12 on a Saturday. 3 or 4 people to take part and let out their assembly person or senator, whoever the object is, know that, they were made aware of this at the post office. And if they got 4 or 5 responses from people at the post office that day with a picture of you and me at the post office, saying, you got 6 other post offices in your district that we're going to be at next week, and we won't stop. You're going to, you're going to own this one way or the other. It will work. But nobody's going to want to do that on theory. So I'm just suggesting you and me get pretty baked one day and go sit out there and do that. We got the right to use our medicine there too. I'd be discreet, but we have that right. And do that and put it to the test. No harm, no foul. But I would encourage other people to have that be their rite of passage if they want to take that extra step, if it's really that important. If they want to go beyond the simplest of steps that do add up, but when they're not enough, maybe we can find a couple people that would say, I'll go to a post office. It's just something they haven't seen before, and it does work, because I've seen it before. I saw a guy with, years back, I believe I've told you, with his cause was something to do with Obama and a Hitler mustache, was the picture on his little table handing out literature. And he was talking to somebody, and police were watching but not doing anything because they couldn't. And all I could think of was, this guy's working harder for what he believes than I do, than I am working for what I believe. And, and I don't know. I think we could be have the convictions he has and more, But I could use you to be the one person that would go, okay, for something like that. So, because we could cover 2 post offices. We could start at one and split up. It doesn't take 2 people, but, would you be willing to do that for a couple hours?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. It sounds like a plan.
Yeah, it sounds pretty easy, doesn't it? For the things that you do, things
Sure.
that I do, how hard is that? It's that's not even anything.
I got stoned with you in front of the governor's office last year. So hey, we just stood there with a sign. Hey, that was fun, and we got good stuff.
Whatever we want. But it's gonna take a constant. I started a Facebook group today because I'm having a hard time figuring out how to actually use social media correctly in Facebook. As long as I've been there, this is the first time how do I get this out to all my friends? And, it doesn't seem like it wants me to do that at times. Like it's, I was under the mistaken impression, I'll just send a copy of this petition to all my friends. And I need help on that, but I will. I'm going to find out what I need to know to do what I need to do. It is now the time. It's the gun went off, starting bell. We got a petition. It has to have 1,000 signatures. It's closing in on 300 now, and it just needs to be circulated. So people have to share it, have to circulate it widely. You tell me, how do we get that done? I don't know. Thinking about it all the time, though, and step by step. It's the letter writing thing I'm more interested in, but it really does have to appear to be a result of the petition, as if the petition stimulated those letters, when in fact the petition was going to follow the letters. But it really works better this way, I think, and it gives me time to get all these letters, the templates all written and ready to go. And it'll more than likely involve a website, too, because you can just display a whole lot more stuff there. So, that's not the expense of getting a pack together, though, so I'm sure it can handle that.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, well, and then I'll find out soon. I haven't talked to Ken yet, but when Nick Scutari sees the petition, and he will, Ken's going to have a hard time convincing Senator Scutari that he didn't know anything about it, and I did this all on my own. And I included Ken as the one that they will need to be in touch with, because that will be the patient liaison to Trenton. Ken. So I drafted him. I don't know. He doesn't have enough to. He doesn't have to go anywhere, though. I mean, basically, he can talk to Nick Scutari on the phone. He doesn't need to go there.
Sure
I
can.
just don't like I just don't like being ignored. You know.
Well, you sure can't go there in a wheelchair. That's for sure.
Uh-uh.
Just saying.
That's what I'm hearing. I'm trying to remember. I haven't been to Scutari's office in a really, really long time.
Yeah, keep
I
your
think all offices are seemingly adopting the need a buzzer to get in now. I'm finding that to be more.
Keep your wheelchair
prevalent
outside.
than it used to be. Yeah. If you can get in at all. Yeah.
It's sad.
But this'll do it for me, and I don't have an over-under time frame guess, but this needs to be a bill in committee probably by the beginning of May, because it already has parameters established. It doesn't take a lot of real original legwork to get this done, but the budget negotiations, when it gets towards mid-May, they start using that as an excuse to not have time for you, because of course, by state constitution, we have to have the budget done by July 1st. So then all of June and then they have summer time coming up. So if you want to get a bill in committee thinking it might happen somewhere between mid-May and anywhere before Labor Day, it's not going to happen. So I feel that to be the timeline. So, it has to be all hands on deck now. And at least I can say I'm not any more disappointed than usual at the lack of intensity from people who can be so intense about how home grow is your God-given right, but when it comes to patients having it to grow their medicine, they don't step up. And I am going to thin out my Facebook friend herd over this immensely. So, it's the only reason I'm on Facebook. They can't help me now. They serve me no purpose.
Yeah, me too. I use Facebook for activism, and if they're not going to be active, what's the point?
Yeah, well, I guess the last point will be I get to call out on the way out. Posers are going to be posers, and I'll have nothing to lose.
Cannabaggers. That triggers them. Use cannabaggers. I'll bring them out like roaches.
Yeah. I like that.
It just drives people crazy when you say that.
There you go.
I'm not a cannabagger.
Right. Hey, listen, let me ask you, even on the podcast here, I keep forgetting this isn't just a regular phone call. Although you notice I haven't sworn.
Good job.
Doing
Good
pretty
job.
Good. Yeah.
We're going to be at the State House.
I almost swore then as a joke while I was saying that, and I didn't. So, I'm getting there. I might be as serious as women are about this sometimes and get things done as well.
I tell you, that's it.
Yeah. How's Jeff for visitors? I wanted to go just hang. I mean, to do anything in particular, just say hi, How's that going?
Yeah, let's go. I'm going down to the track, Oceanport, on Saturday. Hopefully, he'll be at the track with me Saturday night. It's my birthday, so we're going to chill out at the track.
Well, he's right there. If you're going to the track on Saturday, are you going to, Jeff is going to be home feeling bad. Probably going to stop by there as well?
No, he'll be at the track with us, man. We're going to bring him out to the track.
No way.
Yeah, he loves it.
I'm in. Absolutely, man. I'm in. Count me in.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah, just and
for the fights. It's a late.
Yeah, well, I don't care what for, man. I mean, I know they got all sorts of betting stuff there. I'm sure I'll find something to lay a couple bucks on,
Yeah.
But no, just to hang out, man. That'd be great. Any idea what time? Doesn't matter.
The fights. It's at night, so the fights are at night.
Yeah. Well, that's even easier yet then.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be good.
All right. Good. I'll talk to you about that. Oh, wait a minute. If this is part of a podcast, you have to release me. I can't just say I got to go.
Well, we're going to be rallying this year at the State House. I don't know if we're going to do a podcast. We're going to do rallies, picnics,
rallies,
fundraisers.
Hey, yeah. May I suggest also, how about not waiting till Thanksgiving? Have a spring thing for people in Trenton.
Oh.
People want to give all the time. They get all worn out around Thanksgiving and Christmas. So why not hit them up in the springtime when they're doing spring cleaning and say, hey man, let's bring some good some good stuff out here. And do that as well. Food drives. People get hungry besides Thanksgiving. People need things all year round. It'd be nice to recognize that.
Maybe maybe 420. 420.
How about it's exactly 6 months from Thanksgiving food drive.
What would that be? July, June? June? No, May.
June.
May.
Hold on, I'm having a hard time with my phone now.
Yeah, it would have to be May. We're there the Monday of May. April 20th, and then May, that Monday in May, the 4th week. And then it's every Thursday.
Thursday, that's the good day of the week. You doing a podcast this year? Somebody's asking me that. You gonna do them again?
No, we're doing rallies, picnics, fundraisers at the State House, parties.
Every week?
Every 4th Thursday.
Oh, every 4th Thursday, okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting it.
Same as last year. Oh, somebody texted me. They said they can see my cupping. I have cups on my back. Let's see.
All right, well, listen, I gotta go.
Right, Jim, have
I
you
was waiting for any. Thanks for good talk to you.
No, I was showing my cups off. Have you ever been?
Please release me. Let me go.
Haven't you ever been cupped before? Come on, you've been cupped before. I heard you were cupped before. No, my back cupping my back. I don't know if you can see that. My back's a mess. I got cupped really bad. Look at this. Can you see this? I got cupped really bad. It's all on my back. I think it helps. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't help. Maybe I'm just full of myself. Who knows? What do we have here? This is I'm asking for short videos to be sent in. Here's Jeff Oakes.
I'm a stage 4 colon cancer patient. I've been using cannabis to relieve my symptoms of 44 treatments of chemotherapy and 2 liver resections, 3 microwave ablations in my liver, and without it, I could not.
Hi, you're on the air.
I've gone through all this pain.
Hello?
Hi, you're on the air.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi.
Hey, Nancy. How you doing? It's Beth.
Hey.
Elizabeth?
How are you doing? Hold on. How are you? You're on the air.
Okay.
We're live on the podcast. So you can curse, I guess.
Okay.
Turn,
Hold on a minute.
Turn the computer down. That's
Okay,
for
here
step
we go.
1. Turn your computer down so we can talk. How are you, dear?
Okay, let me shut you off my. Let me call you right back on the other phone. Hold on a minute.
Okay.
Let me call you right back.
Sure. Okay. I was getting a lot of calls while I was on the phone with Jim, and I guess that was one of them. So yeah, I'll try to get to all the calls tonight. There's a bunch of people trying to call in. I know, and they want to know about my cups, about my cupping. I'll tell you all about my cups. They had extra time to work on me this week, so they gave me extra cups. I like extra cupping. I can give me all the cupping I can get. I love it. Cupping, acupuncture, it's all good. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can go back to this. Hold on. That messed me up here. Let's try this again. If I have a few minutes here. I want to play this clip here.
My name is Jeff Oakes. I'm a stage 4 colon cancer patient. I've been using cannabis to relieve my symptoms of 44 treatments of chemotherapy and 2 liver resections, 3 microwave ablations in my liver, and without it, I could not have gone through all this pain and suffering and side effects of chemo. I myself have unlimited monthly amounts of cannabis. My last trip to the dispensary, they would only allot me 1/4 of an ounce. So legalization would help us exponentially by expanding the market and having it more available and reducing the price and affecting the availability of it at the same time. So it's more available to people that cannot afford it. There's so many people that are living on Social Security that have limited funds that are just priced out of this alternative treatment and forced onto opioids. So we need your help. So please vote Cannabis 2020.
Hello, can you hear me? Oh, hold on. There you go. Can you hear me? Shoot, hold on. Okay, can you hear me now? Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's much better. I can hear you.
Okay.
Nice.
You got a lot going on there tonight.
Yeah, busy. A lot of people are calling in, but I saw that you called in. Oh my goodness, how you doing?
Very good. Did you see my parts to my car? I drove home that night on.
No, what happened?
Oh, when I left Jeff's, I had like lots of noise in the front end, and I sent you a picture of that tie rod. There was like nothing left.
That's what that was?
Yeah, that was the tie rod. Yeah. Yeah, I drove home on that, and I didn't know it. And I was like, yeah, see, I ran on a prayer, I'm telling you. I've been down since I was at Jeff's. Then I'm back on the road again.
On the road again?
So is it your birthday Saturday?
Yeah.
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 So are you going with Jeff to the track?
Yeah, I'm going to go to Jeff's and party down there.
Okay, because I was going to be in the area.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, tomorrow, Saturday night. The fights are at night, I believe. So I want to catch...
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
I was going to be up there in the afternoon.
Okay, well,
maybe I'll run into you.
Well, I'm sure we'll have you for a while because we usually get you for a few hours when you come down. We try to hold you hostage to talk to you, pick your brain.
I like it. That's cool. It works good.
Very helpful.
Yeah, well, we're pioneers in this, so every bit of information that we gather, we should share. It's otherwise we're not going to learn. I mean, there's no labs out there that are saying, here, like, even though it's just been illegal all this time, we've been thinking about it and figuring it out for you. No,
Betty, let me
we got to test drive this stuff and take care of it ourselves, and we are our own guinea pigs. But it's a good guinea pig because it's just a plant. I mean, what can go wrong with a plant?
Now, you are Betty Budz. Tell everyone who you are.
Yeah, you're not supposed to tell everybody who I am. Yeah. I go by Betty Budz because I like to diagnose the buds for symptoms. I like to break down people's symptoms and then look into the different strains and find the CBG that might help this person's mind because she had a stroke and she could use a little bit of help up there. Or, that strain might be good for her. And then she might have some pain. So you might lean towards a strain with pain. And then you find the different strains that help your symptoms best because everybody's different. So you got to test run stuff. But you find what helps best, and then you make like a symptom salad. And you have like a medicine cabinet, with your different strains. So when you have the headache, you know which one helps the headache, and you reach in and take it. Now you use that. And you can also do that, like I get up in the morning and I put together something that's uplifting and something that's for my pain and inflammation and a little bit of hemp CBD in there for extra pain. And I made this little salad that I use during the day. And then towards the end, I turn it back and I just get some sleepy blueberry or something nighttime-ish or something good in there for just indica relax out the night. But they're my symptom salads, and you find out what works for you. I think everybody should understand their bodies and understand that not one strain is going to cover many symptoms. You're going to have to reach out and find the different pieces to put them together.
No, I have a friend in Oregon who specifically grows THCV for her diabetes because diabetes has an own strain. And you do some work out in Oregon too?
Yes, I do. My mother had lived out there all her life, and when she passed away, I went out there, and I discovered a whole new world. I got off that plane, and I went to a dispensary, and then I walked through the door. There was a little tiny room and a girl behind a glass little window, but the window was open enough that you could smell it. And behind her, there had to be 24 different sized plants for sale. And that was the beginning. I went behind that door, and the lady said, "What would you like, sativa or indica?" And I said, "What?" And
yes, and yes.
Taught me. Yes, I was like, "Yeah." And she said, "Do you want it for waking up or going to sleep or for pain or for that?" And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
And out there, their marijuana is in like big glass cookie jars, and they reach in with these little Chinese chopsticks, and they take it out what you want, and they put it on the scale, and you can buy a gram or 2 or 10 or whatever you want, and lollipops and gummy bears and teas. But the teas I didn't understand because it's not water soluble. So that part I have a little question in my head about those little green tea bags they were selling. But chocolates, oh my goodness. Dark toffee chocolates and toffee in them and caramel in them, and yeah. So I went from dispensary to dispensary like Wawa, and I just enjoyed myself for a whole month. So I came back here and said, I got to get in this program, and I said, wow, this is way not like Oregon. Wow.
No.
No, way not.
It's crazy, right?
But I couldn't leave behind the chocolates, so I had to make the chocolates. So whatever I had to do, I had to. Once you have eaten it and it lasts for 6 hours, and it's just such a different smoothness. Like what I try to put together with my strains is like, I call it like a mellow yellow. I try to ride the middle. I'm not too awake, I'm not too asleep, but I'm definitely not in pain. So I think it's just a science we have to figure out. But like I said, we're pioneers. So sharing information and educating each other the best that we can is very important, especially for this 2020 vote. There's a lot of people out there that are in the reefer madness stigma, and they are so afraid of all the brainwashing lies that they've been told. And if you think about it, it's just, I'm quoted for saying, I think reefer madness is just a big, fat, greedy lie. And you take away, you put back in the marijuana, back in the place where it should have been. Like, we shouldn't be fighting for a right to a plant. Nowhere should a plant that God has put on this earth, should a plant ever have been made illegal. And then here we are fighting for the rights back for a plant that should never have been taken. And then you go and you have to pay for a card. They are actually charging you to have your rights back. And I don't get that. And the other part I don't get is, if we are the United States, how can we call ourselves the United States when we are not united in laws like medical marijuana and the freeing of a plant? You know, how can we be united when the state next to us is illegal and we are? Like, that has me, like, just...
Yeah, you don't go over that border.
Don't much wrong.
Don't cross that border.
What border? Did I cross too far?
New York? Are you in New York? Yep, you're getting arrested. Sorry for your luck.
Yep.
Oh, you're in Connecticut? Sorry for your luck. Tell it to the judge.
Now, did Pennsylvania someone was saying that Pennsylvania that did they pass it so that you can go across state lines as a medical patient into their state yet?
No, you'll get pulled over for a DUI if you tell them you have a cannabis card. You'll actually get yourself in trouble if you say I have a cannabis card. You can't do nothing in Pennsylvania.
I read somewhere that we could go to their dispensaries.
No, stay out of
recently.
Pennsylvania.
No?
You'll give up your car.
Okay.
You give up your rights. You give up everything. Don't even go to Pennsylvania for a New Jersey patient. If you're a medical cannabis patient, stay home.
I help patients in Pennsylvania too.
Oh, scary.
There's people over there that I kind of steer to Pennsylvania people that help, advocates that help them.
There's good people out there.
Curious.
But they're living in fear. They're all living in fear of their government.
It is. Yeah.
It's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
Patients are living in fear. People with cards that paid into this stupid system, that paid for their stupid rights, are living in fear because they'll lose their license now because they're going to get caught with DUI just for being a patient. Are you kidding me?
Yep. It's messed up. It is messed up.
Lefty, why don't you go to Pennsylvania, Lefty? Oh, well, that's why.
Yeah. It's hard enough here, let alone stepping out of the state into another state.
Oh, man, I'm scared. I'm scared to go to Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
My friends are out there, and I can't go see them. I need a driver or a train.
Which friends are you talking about? The ones that live up in Weedville?
I got a few. Yeah, yes.
Hey, can I join that carpool? I want to go see them friends too.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. Is that a shout out to him? Yeah. That's the man. Oh, okay.
I think he was at the State House. Was it today or yesterday? They had a rally at the State House in Pennsylvania. That's great. They rally down there all the time. They really know how to get it done there.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I got to check in with him, see how that went.
Good stuff, man. You got to fight for your rights. You got to fight. If you don't fight, you're not going to get it. That's what it is.
Yeah, but it should never. We shouldn't be fighting for the right. It should have never been taken in the first place. And here we are fighting for a plant. It's just that just because they need to have control of it. They need to have control of the money. Because when the plant takes over and the plant starts making everybody well, and they figure out that chemo is the poison, and they stop getting the chemo, and then they stop getting the pharmaceuticals, and they stop seeing the doctors that much. Everybody in that little lineup, all those little wealthy little ones, they're all going to start losing their money. So how are they going to stay in their nice, rich houses when we have discovered that cannabis cures cancer? Okay. So they can't sell their medicine, they can't sell their pills. How do they stay in that nice, rich house? Because they've been just robbing from us so they can buy golden toilets and compete against each other. So what's the next best thing? Reach on out there and grab a hold of that cannabis and make as much money as they can from it, because they don't give two shits about us. They just care about keeping their money and keeping their nice house, because they know they're going to lose it when all their pharmaceuticals and all. And then this epidemic that they created. That's the other thing. They created an epidemic, okay? Fed everybody all these pills. Now they're saying, oh, we got a way out. Yeah, bullshit. The way out is cannabis. Let this freaking pharma go. Because all they're doing is poisoning you with another pill so they can keep you their patient. They're not curing you. They are sustaining you in their pharmaceutical company. You are a pill, a monthly pill. If you stop taking the pill, they don't make money. Okay? So you go back to it and you say, okay, you start replacing this stuff with cannabis. You become a healthier person. You don't need all that crap. You get down to basics. You get your diet healthier. You think healthier. Yeah, once you get off of the antidepressants, which make you more depressed, your mind clears up. And you wake up one day and you're like, ooh, I'm thinking all by myself, and something isn't telling me not to cry at a funeral, and something isn't telling me not to laugh at my friends' jokes. And I'm not sitting there like a medium zombie just existing. Like, my brain thinks. Because those pharmaceuticals, they are mind controlling. They are neurological. How do you think a pill can go into your brain and tell you, don't be depressed, don't think thoughts like that? But the thing is, it's got you in the middle, so you can't be happy neither. But if a pill can tell you not to cry, what's wrong with that picture? Okay? If a pill can control your mind hard enough to make you not cry at your own mother's funeral, okay, what is wrong with that picture? Got me?
That's scary.
So, like, I know those pills. I had 2 car accidents. I was rear-ended twice. In 8 months, I ended up with 7 herniations. I gathered another one somewhere along the way, so I have 8 of them. But I was on those pills. I was in oxycoma. I had a pain doctor just pumping me with stuff because he didn't know what else to do at the time. And had to get off of them. Woke up one day in Oregon with them saying, you don't need pills. And I was like, ooh, I don't. And I kind of saved my life out there. You know, I came back here and said, heck with those antidepressants. Heck with that Abilify. Oh, and Abilify gives you high cholesterol. So then you got to take Lipitor or something else. And they both have lawsuits for the high cholesterol that Abilify gives you. So you take a pill for a pill, too. I watched that one.
What part of Oregon were you in?
Huh?
What part of Oregon?
Corvallis, my mother lived in.
Oh, okay.
But I have family in, like, Albany and Portland. I have, family out there.
I'm trying to get Honeyb to do a podcast at the State House.
What is it that...
How far is the State House? The State House is way up in the northwest.
Portland.
Oh, it's in Portland, State House? Okay.
Portland.
Yeah, well, we need to do some podcasts at the Oregon State House.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes. They have it out there. And if you think about, like, I talked to my mom's friend, and I'm like, yeah, Jill, when I was out there wasn't a lot of hospitals. She's like, no, because there was a giant hospital, but it was, like, way, 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 way far away from my mom's house. And I'm like, do you have a lot of cancer up there? She says, no, not really. Yeah, because they all been up there smoking for a long time, and it's been preventative. And I'm like, it's a shame because in New Jersey, with all the factors in New Jersey, pollution and everything else, and all the crap you eat, it's like 50% of the people I know have cancer. But, like, people in Oregon are, like, so healthy. The air is so healthy. Everything's healthy there. It's crazy.
Mm.
But, yeah, and they're the nicest people. Maybe they're all a little high.
Why wouldn't you be nice?
People.
Wake up in the field of pot every day. I'd be happy, too.
Mm-hmm. They're all... Jill calls it laid back. She said, we're laid back. Yeah, you are.
Laid back.
I had a greenhouse growing in my backyard, shoot. Now, I have some friends up there I'm going to go study with a little bit. So, but yeah, when we went in here up there, we took Saturdays off, and me and my daughter and my granddaughter would go out to the coast. And when we would drive back at night, the greenhouse is on the sides of the mountains because at nighttime, well, of course you have to grow your cannabis concealed. Okay, in Oregon, you can't just grow it outside. Like, you have to have it so it's not seen by public. So they have greenhouses, and at nighttime they have them heated, and you see the red lights. So coming back, that's all you saw through the mountains, on the sides of the mountains, and all was everybody's greenhouses lit up at night. And oh my goodness, they were everywhere.
That sounds like a beautiful thing.
Was everywhere.
Mm.
Oh my goodness, and yes, oh.
Yeah.
It was crazy. That's all right. Like, I didn't know my mom. She moved away when I was a kid, so I kind of went there to figure out who she was. And, maybe I was the pothead when I was, in my family. Nobody smoked. My brother did, but he passed away. But I was like the pothead, whatever. Never bothered me, yeah. So I get out there to Oregon, and my real mother, I find out, I open up her end table, and she's got 3 pounds of weed in there. And I was like, oh, my goodness.
You found 3 pounds of weed in an end table?
3 pounds of weed that she had grown.
In an end table?
In an end table in 3 Ziploc baggies.
Wow.
So I went out to Oregon to find out who my mother was because I was her only child. And, like, she left when I was, like, 2 years old. So, yeah, I discovered who my mother was. She had 3 pounds of weed in a
So
little
wait,
end table.
you didn't know
No, Mom.
you didn't know who she was?
No, she left when I was little. I only met her once. I talked to her on the phone, but
Well, we have the
I
same
really
story.
didn't know her.
We have the same story because my dad left when I was 3, and I met him once, and I got stoned with him. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I went out there to take care of her estate, and like I kind of said to go out and smell her perfume and find out who she was, and I did, and it was wonderful.
Wow.
Like I woke up and looked out her kitchen window at the mountains every morning and drank coffee, and I wish I was doing it by her side, but you know what? Yeah, she's my angel. She takes care of me now. So. It is what it is.
You're an angel, and you take care of people too now. So I've seen what you do, and thank you for all your work behind the scenes.
I try. I'm very fortunate. I'm very blessed. I have 3 wonderful children. I have 2 grandchildren, and little ones too. They're only 3.5. But I'm very fortunate. I keep going every day, and I'm blessed. If I need something or anything, you know, it appears I'm here. You know, I stay humble because you know I don't have a lot, and that doesn't matter. You know, if I have something that somebody needs, then you know you take care of that. That's what you're here for. You're here to be helpful and caring of others and giving, and you know, I guess that's why when I say, you know, all this bullshit with the cannabis is a greedy lie is because it's greedy. And it just turns my stomach because that's not who we are. You know what I mean? That's not who we're supposed to be. You know, it's just reach inside and do things from your heart for people, not do things for what you're going to get or, you know, how much money you're going to make or competing with other people. You know, just do it and
look at what Jeff's doing.
Karma.
Look what Jeff's doing. Jeff's fighting for others, and he's dying, and he's out there fighting for other people.
He's my hero.
He is. Me too, man.
No, he is my hero. I can't wait to see him on Saturday.
I know, right?
I've been like gathering special things so when I see him that I can bring with me. Because he just makes me smile so big.
Yeah.
But yeah, my heart just hurts so much for him because, you know, it's the sad thing is the state of New Jersey has the cannabis to cure the people, but they're not doing it to cure the people. They're doing it to line in their pockets. They're just doing it to, you know, you think about who owns the dispensaries. It's not any little guys. It's the wealthy. And we just keep lining their pockets and they're paying their prices. But, hey, the cannabis that is really needed to make the cures, to help the people, it's not affordable. And if they don't allow patients to do something and do a little bit of home grow to at least, like, if they're able to go to the dispensary and purchase at least the baseline of what they need monthly. And if they had a little home grow that could cover them in between, because people are choosing between food and bills. Because, see, once you get off, like, opioids for pain, I'll give you my example. Once you get off opioids for pain, you wake up every morning and you rely on your cannabis to get you out of that bed and make you and help you walk out to the kitchen to get your cup of coffee. Okay, and it might take you some oil that you made. It might take you CBD oil that you rub all over your back on top of medicating. You do what you have to do once those pills are gone. But the minute you take that away too, now $1.25 opioid prescription for 120, we'll just say Vikes, okay? The perks, we'll say perks. We'll be easy on it. So you have them for $1.25. Then you're replacing it with, and you're just saying an eighth a week, $200. But nobody can do it on an eighth a week. It's got to be like an eighth and a half. So now we got to go up to $300. And if I want to be comfortable, it's got to be a quarter a week. So I'm saying $400. Okay. So you're going from $200 to $400 to take away the pain that 4 Percocets did. Now, the Percocets, when I wake up in the morning, I'd have to take one and lay there for 20 minutes before I stood up. I had to train my mind and my body to do without it and then do with this instead. But now, if you're going to say, I can't afford this, and I'm like thinking, oh my God, I can't get out of bed and function, and my life is going to be a mess until I afford it again. So what don't I pay?
Worst feeling ever.
Well, yes, and then you're thinking, what bill can I put aside till next week? Because I need this medicine to get up and function to be able to go make money, And if I can't, and if I got to have this pain all day and I can't deal with it, my mind isn't going to be able to function. So, and that's the part that hurts. And when people had grow, they would have something stashed away. They could still go to the dispensary, get their different strains they need, but then have something in the background so that they don't have to reach out and not pay a bill. And we need this. This is our affordable way to afford their cost. Am I right on that one or what?
Sorry, I'm just fixing something on my computer here.
Okay. It's painful.
It's painful.
And here's Oregon.
It's painful.
7 years surplus.
It's painful because you got people here suffering like Jeff, and out in Oregon, it's so cheap to get the medicine that people need. They can get the FICO. They can get all this stuff that they need. And over here, we're freaking suffering and dying out here. Yep. I mean, Jeff told me the other day that the chemo had rotted away his teeth, so now he has to have his food processed so that he can eat because he can't chew anymore.
Oh, my God.
I can't imagine.
I can't imagine either. He was telling me that he had an allergic reaction to it.
Oh, yeah. He was like a lobster.
And had it, yeah.
He's
and
red. Yeah.
It's not good. It's just, okay, let's throw some numbers out there, okay? It takes 60 grams in 60 days. We're just throwing some eating numbers and just some stuff we hear, okay? We're just playing with some words here, just to add some people's thoughts here. Okay. So it takes 60 grams of FICO in 60 days to cure a cancer. Any cancer, we'll just say. All right. You add chemo. Changes the whole ballgame. You need 180 grams of FICO in 90 days to cure any cancer, we'll say. All right. And why? Because if we did it in 60 days without the chemo, we are going straight to those cancer cells and we are dealing with what we got to deal with. But you throw chemo in there and it kills all those good cells. So now we got to go in there. We got to sort through the cells. We got to find those cancer cells and still deal with the cancer cells. Then we got to go back and repair. That's a hard fight. And that's a big number. And that's a big thought. My aunt just had called my uncle. Had something going on, and I warned her. I said, you're talking to chemo next week. Well, just put this food for thought in your head. That's a big number. That's a big difference in medicine. That's a lot of damage. And I know it's a life. It's when you have cancer, you have to make those big decisions. But they are rough decisions when big old doctors and pharma are shoving at you what they're saying, and on the other hand, you have a reefer madness stigma being offered to you that could be the best way out and is the truth. And they are just afraid to not believe those doctors that they've been brainwashed into believing.
Yeah, we're supposed to believe these doctors all these years, and no. Now, my relatives that lived to be 95, they said all their life they stayed away from doctors. All my old school relatives, the ones that lived to be old, stay away from doctors, they said. And here I am going for surgery in 2 weeks.
I know. I was checking it out. So you're back. What is that all about? I seen that. I've never really.
It's purty. I'm like the Terminator. I got an artificial disc.
Was it painful?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's always painful.
It looked very painful.
L4, L5, L5S1, and then I got my 2-level cervical fusion, and now I'm getting my rotator cuff worked on. Always something.
Well, what does the cups do? I mean, whatever those circles on your back, what does that do? Like suction out the air? Are they like I don't know what you had done?
Yes, it suctions out the air and any toxins that are in my skin, up in the blood there. I guess. Yeah, it's interesting. I do acupuncture with the electric. They put electric on the pins. They stick these pins in me. Then they put electric on the pins, and it's like, and it's amazing. I love it. It's great.
Oh.
Yeah.
That CBD oil.
I've been putting it in my belly button. You told me to put it in my belly button.
Okay. Well, listen. Okay, I know that.
Great.
But here, listen. Okay, but how about a step further? Just humor me tonight. And do your entire back with it.
Oh, okay.
All right, please, because remember I told you, making your own is affordable, and you can be generous with it. And I cover from my neck down to my butt with it, and my back has absolutely no pain. And it's very good if you get a nice hot shower and you relax those muscles and then step out and put it on. You'll be pain-free for like 3 or 4 hours easily. Because and now remember, when I get my CBD hemp, I buy the very high numbers and I use the amount of flour, but I cut back the oil to make the concentration stronger. So what I had given you, that should be pretty good for you. So humor me tonight and put it on your back, and then tell me what you think about it tomorrow.
Okay, I will.
Okay. You know where else is good too? Like if you're getting out of the shower, not only your back, I put it on my kneecaps and my ankles and my elbows and my wrist. Because you're helping like bone healing, bone growth, and it's those joints there, they absorb the CBD, the coconut oil, and it makes you more like bouncy. Because it relieves things in there, and it kind of like eases them up.
Okay.
So you can do that too. You can do that too if you want, and tell me how you feel. Like I kind of notice if I get showered in the morning and I do that, if I take it hot and it relaxes the muscles from the hot water, and then I put that on, I kind of like a few hours later, I'm like realizing, man, I've been feeling pretty good today.
No, I will definitely try that. It's because when I wake up in the morning, all I want to do is shave those pain points. Just shave them. That's all I do. Shave them pain points.
Well, if I see you down there Saturday, I'll refill your bottle. I'll bring a bottle so I can refill you. I just made some new.
Oh, cool! CBD. I'm gonna go to town then. Weehaw!
Yeah, I know. I told you, be generous with it. It's very inexpensive to make. Be generous, and I told you I have more. So. Yeah. All right. Well, look, I'm going to let you go. I've been hanging out here a while, so.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. I just lost you. My phone's acting up. Okay. Can you hear me? Oh, shoot. My phone's been acting up here again. Hurtful. I think it's working now. Let's see if that works.
Hello?
Hello, you're on the air.
I'm on the air.
You're on the air.
Oh, no. Let me turn off my volume because I'm watching you on the laptop. Well, how is that hurtful?
What?
Hello?
Hi. Hurtful.
Are you a crybaby now?
What do you mean, crybaby? What did I do?
Well, it's not like I did it on purpose to make you cry about it.
Did what?
You know, my phone's like really being annoying right now. I can't hear you, and I'm not even on headphones.
Oh my God.
Hold on real quick.
What the hell?
Okay, that's as loud as it's going.
This is what I have to deal with out in Oregon. These are the people that just wake up in pot fields all day and have just a life of leisure,
I know.
life of luxury and leisure.
And then, you know, people just drop me off free weed and like, oh, here, I just had this extra
pound of weed here. You can have it. I don't need it.
Yeah, just a couple pounds, you know, make some edibles with your magical butter machine.
Oh my God.
Thank you, magical butter. They're so nice.
Yes, they are. Best machine.
And you're so nice for being the difference that we all want to be.
Oh, thank you. But, yeah, we're trying. We're trying to get stuff done here in New Jersey. It's tough. And I think
doing it.
Yeah,
you're not trying.
No, you girls,
that's the new word. We're not trying anymore. We're doing it.
Well, we are doing it, but the girls
we
are
doing it.
I think it's...
No, trying, you know what?
You're right.
You're doing
Trying
it.
sucks.
You're
Don't
doing
try
it.
Just do it.
There's no try about it.
There is no try.
I'm doing it, and I'm doing it February 29th, and I just got everything set up in my live studio.
Nice.
Yeah, I checked the microphones. Everything's ready. Captain's going to come and run the mixing board for me. I just confirmed with him right now. I just got off the phone with him. He's going to help me with my flyer.
Oh.
And he's going to... I think I need, like, transition songs from, like, the beginning and the end and, like, commercials, because I'm going to have commercials. I'm going to be selling slots of commercials on my podcast.
Cool. I don't know anything about that, so that's good.
Oh, my God. You don't?
No, I don't know how to get sponsors. I should sponsor these dippers, but I don't even know how to, you know.
Well, you know what? You can't do everything by yourself,
I know.
And I'm clear in Oregon trying to do a lot of things, too.
You got people helping you, though. That's good.
You need a team. You need a dedicated team.
Yes.
Who is all here for the same reason.
Yes.
And that's when it's going to work. So I just got this new 2020 vision, and I got a team, and I've made some changes in my life in order to see my 2020 vision. It was cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Stupid. But anywho, I'm excited for this year. I've been meeting some really cool people that my universe has aligned up to help me actually do my podcast. So I thank everyone for showing up. Showing up is the hardest part. And here I am. Hi.
Where in Oregon are you?
Where in Oregon?
Yes.
Is it like, where's Waldo?
People are
Where's
asking.
Honeybee?
People are asking.
Well, I'm in Oregon. I'm near Portland.
Near Portland, that's right.
I'm in a suburb of Portland. Pretty close.
In a pot field.
I'm in a pot field close to Portland.
Yeah, make a left.
I'm in a pot field close to Potland. I live in Weedville. I like how she said that.
Weedville.
Well, I made up. I live in Nowhereville.
Nice.
Nowhereville, Oregon. I live in the universe.
So what kind of stuff are you going to have on your show? You're going to have characters and stuff? And
Well, I'm going to have special characters call in.
Okay. All right.
And that is to, you're going to have to listen more to find out who they are, because
Okay.
I can't just give up everything right now.
Right. I heard you're going to have some crazy stuff happening on your show.
I am, and I'm going to do a dab strain review with Dab and D.
Oh, Dab and D's going to do a strain review with
Dab
me?
and D's going to be here. He works at a dispensary, and he gets free samples.
Oh, must be nice. Hey, yo, just rub it in.
I know. Rough life, huh? Rough life.
Free samples.
So you know, we've been practicing with strain reviews every day. You know, we're trying to perfect that.
Really?
You know, you just can't just talk about it and not be about it. You got to smoke about it so you can be about it
You
and
gotta
talk about it.
smoke about it.
I talk a lot of shit, though. I'll probably offend everybody at one point or another. So many sorries in advance. Am I covered? Did it cover that?
A lot of
Just
people
kidding.
want to be your friend right now.
You want to be my friend? Listen to my podcast in Portland.
They want to be your
Portland.
friend.
It's going to be funny.
That should be your
And then
tagline.
I'm going to have, you know, I just recently have been hanging out with Stephen Cole of the Daily Leaf, and I went to one of his
Ooh, name
Cannibal
dropper. Name dropper.
networking. I know. He personally invited me to this event. And so I told him that my podcast is going to start on February 29th, and he said he would like to be a part of it. So
Sweet.
it's who you know.
Uh-huh.
And the universe dropped him right in my area. What am I trying to say?
In your lap?
Not in my lap. That's
Okay.
no, not in my lap.
Okay.
Right next to my lap.
Next to your lap. Your side lap.
You stupid.
Side lapping you.
So yeah, I'm excited, and I have What Up Dog is going to cater my event.
Who's that?
Oh, that's my newest business partner. His name is Jose.
Really?
Yeah, he's going to cater my event.
He's the guy that makes the mofongo?
Huh?
Does he...
What did you say?
Mofongo.
Oh my god. You know, it's a good thing that you're over there and I'm over here. I can't punch you. You dick. Oh no, you're little Richard.
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 Richard Shaddick. That's one of your characters. I think that's one of your characters.
So Jose sings hip hop songs,
Okay.
and he's a promoter and a boss. He's a boss,
Uh-huh. He looks
but
like
he's not bossy.
He's not
He's a boss.
He's-
I'm bossy. He's the boss. But he's going to help me cater the event and help promote it, so that's exciting. He also is going to help promote his business as well, the
Uh-huh.
What Up Dog.
Okay.
So I'm pretty excited about that. Captain is working on some songs, and he's going to help me in so many ways. He's the one who made my logo.
Yay, Captain.
Yeah. I love him.
I love the Captain. He's
so
awesome.
he's so nice and helpful.
Yeah, he's cool.
You know, we help each other. That's what it's all about. You know, I don't know everything.
Yes.
He doesn't know everything. And if I used to be tour mom, and he would bring his whole tour, sleep on my floor, my couch. And that's how I could help him. And in return, he made my logo and made my theme song. So, you know, it takes a team,
If people
a
need
tribe. It
that's
takes a tribe.
Yes, we don't have that in Jersey. We have people here that, like, after like a minute, they'll take their toys and go home.
Yeah.
Like-
And nitpick on what you're doing wrong. You know what? It's not about what you're doing wrong. It's about what you're doing right.
Let's solve the
Focus
problem.
on what we're doing right.
Yeah, let's solve some problems here. Let's stop fighting
Right.
amongst each other.
There's no need to fight. We're here for the same reason.
People just want to fight.
We can
and
all agree to disagree.
cause drama, and people just want to be haters.
You can
and
voice your opinion to yourself.
People just want to be like, triggered all the time. Like, I'm so triggered. Like, oh, dude, what? Triggered
You're like,
for what?
I'm just trying to help.
Like, we're trying to be helpful. Like, I don't understand all this other crap that has to go on with helping each other. Like, that's not part
Or
of it.
maybe we could go murderers now. You know
I'm
what?
ready.
We're going to be a murder podcast.
I'm ready.
We're killing now.
I'm ready.
Fuck everybody. No.
Okay, no, never mind. That's silly. What's wrong with you?
No, that's what we're not doing. We're
Right.
not criticizing.
Helpful.
We're helping make a difference for the younger generation, because look what happens when you don't take care of them. Then you get millennials.
Oh, my goodness. Some of these millennials are okay. I have some hope. I got hope for them.
And then you get dumb because you got smartphones.
Well, that's hurtful.
Oh, it's like, we need to put the phone down and write a letter. Write a letter to someone. When was the last time you wrote a letter to someone?
I wrote one to Senator Cody, and he blew me off.
Well, did you write another one?
Very discouraging writing letters to him because he just blows
Why
them
don't
off.
you? Why don't you
I visit
copy
him.
it 100 times
I
and mail them all at once?
I visit him. I go there. They blow me off. They don't care. I
Put
asked.
them in different shapes and sizes.
I asked Senator Cody, what about Jeff's law? What about Jeff that you have people...
Send him some flowers. Send him flowers.
That's a good idea.
Send him flowers.
People can grow weed for money in this state, but if my
Send
friends
him flowers
grow
or
weed,
balloons or something.
they go to jail for life if they grow weed. But they can
Then
make
he'll
money.
see it.
How
There you
dare
go.
they? They don't listen to me, though. They don't want to hear it. They don't care.
You should send them flowers, because how many people send them flowers with a note? How many letters or words can you put on the note that you
never
send
there.
flowers with?
He's never there. He's
It doesn't
always somewhere
matter.
else.
That's going to get some attention. Something crazy like that. That's like, I know you've got my letter. You better read it. My name is Lefty Grimes.
You only get 250 characters on a card.
Well, see, that's enough. Motherfucker!
That's a couple right there.
Well, you can make it one word.
You dirty rat.
Okay, terrific.
That's a little strong to start with. Okay.
Get
Dear Senator Cody, you dirty rat.
You could even do that. B-W-H-A-H-A-H-A dot, dot, dot. Thank you. Come again. Stupid. This is what happens when you live in Oregon. You're very happy. Because they have different terpenes that help with different types of mood enhancers.
Happy terpenes?
Yes.
Like herpines?
Shiny, happy terpenes.
Happy herpines? Happy... Whoops.
No.
Happy
Terpenes, not herpes.
Herpines. Herpines. Happy terps are not herps. Don't ever... Don't... No, we're not going there.
Motherfucker. Then we'll just swear. Shit, damn hell.
We
Smoke
call
that weed.
we call these the herps. Why do you call them the herps? Oh, they're happy terps. You get it? Happy terps. Don't you get it? No, that's awful. I'm never coming here again.
I'm never coming here again. Oh, okay.
This store is horrible. I'm never coming back here. You see how things happen? They escalate so quickly.
You're making me throw up. Oh my goodness, I can't breathe. Just kidding. You're really not making me throw up.
Happy terps. The Happy
Terp.
Happy Terp Company.
That's funny. You're funny. You're funny.
Welcome to Herp's Happy Terps.
Oh my god. Is that a strain? Where do I get it?
Herp's Happy Terps with you on WNBC.
Wise words, huh? Yeah, because I'm a wise man.
Shock jock.
You know, I just talk to myself
I am the law.
because I talk back.
There's my
I just
thick
made that
Jew
one up.
prick.
Oh, that was stupid too. But you know what? Stupid is stupid does.
I didn't hear what you said. I was playing the stupid thing here.
I said I talk to myself
Oh,
because I talk back.
do you listen?
I didn't say I'd listen. I just talk back. Doesn't rhyme.
I'm Big Dick Black.
That doesn't work.
I'm
I talk to myself because I talk back. Oh, but I listen.
I'm Big Dick Black.
What are you doing?
Playing with my sampler.
I can keep it hard for
What?
2 hours.
Can you hear that? No. Good.
No.
I got a dick hung on me 9 inches long.
Oh my God, I'm sorry about that. That was the wrong. I hit the wrong button by accident. I meant to hit this one.
I am the law.
Well,
No man's
yes.
right.
You really can't hear that?
No. Why would I lie about that?
I don't understand why you can't hear that. That's so not cool.
Can you? You're playing something that I can't hear.
Yeah, it's so not cool. You can't hear the sampler.
What is it? Describe it for the people who can.
They can hear it. You can't hear it.
Well, describe it.
I am the law.
What if I was blind? Oh, I mean deaf. I'm definitely stupid.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling people to tune in on February 29th to YouTube,
At 7:10
710 Sativa Cross
Pacific
West.
Standard Time.
I'm going to be calling you back in a few minutes because I have to call Joanne Zito and have an
Oh.
interview with her first. And then I'm going to call
I
you back.
love that lady.
Yeah, she's the best.
She is the best.
And then I'll call you back to end the show, do the list and all that stuff.
All right.
You'll be available later?
Oh,
Yes, got her. I got her. She's like, oh. I love when I get him in the mid-sentence or mid-syllable. It's the best. Ha ha! Gotcha. I got you good. I'm so immature. I love it. Now let's try to see if this works. This is why we can't have men on the team anymore. We're going to have girls, women, and mature people like Joanne. Joanne is going to take us to the promised land. You watch. The women are going to bring this home. Because the men, nah. The men just can't handle it. They can't handle pressure anymore. Men can't handle this pressure. That's what it is. And it's pressure. It's a lot of pressure. It's tough doing this. It's tough being consistent.
Hello?
Hi, Joanne. You're on the air.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I was just speaking to Jim for like an hour about you guys and
Nice.
your plans and your awesome work here. And even before this work, you were doing amazing work. So, I mean, I don't know where to even start with you. But you are Joanne Zito from CMMNJ. You're doing a side thing here with Jim Miller that's like going to get stuff done for us. And I appreciate it.
Oh,
Tell me what you're doing.
well, like I was telling you, the night we went to Roseland, that I really do think that it's Scutari's job, place to do that for the patients. And Jim agreed it is his responsibility, and Herb Conway's as well. And it works out that they, they can post a bill in each of the in each of their places in the state house. Sorry. You there?
Yeah, I'm going to play a Roseland video after this call. I've just found it.
Yeah, I laugh, but I cry about Prohibition every day.
You were affected personally by it.
Yeah, it bothers me all the time. And, not just me, it hurts so many people. I just yesterday driving, I think constantly, like, how do you rehabilitate somebody for growing a plant? Is that something that requires rehabilitation?
Well, you need consent first to grow that plant. And if you don't have consent,
What's that?
yeah, we don't have consent.
Yeah.
Why do we need consent?
I am the law. No man's right.
You don't,
I'm sorry, Joanne, you're breaking up.
lose a lot.
You're breaking up on me. Hello? Hello? Oh, hold on. Hold on. I gotta fix the phone. Having a problem here. My phone's dying on me here. Sorry. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. Sorry, dear.
I was saying, like towns like Roseland that completely ban it. Like they're like Garfield. They banned everything. They even banned youth, which goes against the law for people that use it as medicine.
Wait, are you saying Garfield banned the use of it?
Oh no, I'm sorry, Lodi. They did what Roseland did.
They banned the use? Like, what was it? One town tried that, and it didn't work.
Well, they banned
Fairfield.
paraphernalia.
Yeah, Fairfield.
And I don't know. I thought they had use in there, but I mean, I guess it's already.
Let me look it up. That's
already
interesting.
banned anyway, but it affects home grow too, because they're saying people that use it as medicine can't have the plants. And that's the thing with Gutari too, like he says he's personally not against it, but he's not putting it in his bill like he always did, and the prohibitionists, they have no problem putting their feelings on a bill, or against the bill because of their personal feelings. So if he has no problem with it, he should do it, and it is his responsibility to fix it. Even with legalization, he kind of like put it out there, let everybody else do it, and you didn't hear too much from him after that.
I'm looking at the ordinance now. It's saying that the zoning ordinance of the Borough of Lodi amends ordinance to prohibit the cultivation, manufacturing, processing, warehousing, distribution, and or sale of marijuana, cannabis, and or the paraphernalia that facilitates the use of such marijuana cannabis in all zoning districts of the Borough of Lodi.
Yeah, so somehow it is related to use. But
Yeah.
Roseland, I think they actually had the word use in itself, by itself.
I didn't catch that. Let me check that too. It's interesting.
Well, either way, the other issue I have, and we should go back there. I mean, they think we're just, going to show up one time, but that the mayor told the reporter afterwards that nobody in the town came out. How would anybody in the town know the way they do their ordinances? By numbers, and it's in a zoning ordinance, so it's not like it's going to be like big news, and it's a medical issue, so people would have to put themselves out there, that probably don't want to put themselves out there.
Yeah, the reporter that met with us, her husband was a medical cannabis patient, right? Or is a cannabis patient.
Yeah, maybe that's why it was a good write-up.
Yeah, 4 medicinal marijuana advocates addressed the Borough Council on Tuesday to question the recent adoption of an ordinance that prohibits the sale, dispensing, and manufacturing of medical marijuana within the borough. None of the speakers were residents of the borough, but all of them had reason to believe the borough should reconsider the ordinance that was passed in October 2019. Among the speakers was Edward Lefty Grimes, resident of East Hanover, whose business card notes that he is a Christian shock jock. Shock jock! And an advocate for the sick and the dying. Sativa Cross, an activist group that is currently on an Ignorance is No Excuse tour to bring awareness to the needs of the medical marijuana patients across the state. The decision was anti-humane and anti-Christian, adding that the council was wrong to create barriers and stigmatize the medicine that is helpful to many people in New Jersey. And I also expressed that the belief that members of the council are racist and non-compassionate. And at one time they were. At one time they were racist. Those guys are good.
Yeah, well, that's why I was hoping with the new council would be, they seemed to be listening pretty intently, and they didn't have any comments. So.
Nope. Patient advocate Mike Vincelentos explained that he is a former heroin addict who has now been opiate-free for 22 months thanks to his participation in the medical marijuana program. He proclaimed that by passing the ordinance, the council is guilty of disgusting, ignorant, and horrible behavior, that the borough should make it easier for patients to get access. Joanne Zito, who is associated with the Coalition for Medical Marijuana in New Jersey, commented that it was contradictory for the council to ban medical marijuana when it also acknowledged a resident undergoing cancer treatment around the same time this fall. She urged the council to rethink the ordinance and show compassion. And Aubrey Conway, who serves on the medical advisory board of Breakwater, also requested the council reconsider the ordinance. By having sales legal within the borough, you can save a family member or patient an extra 1, 2, or 3 hour drive. Patients should have access to medical cannabis in Roseland. There you go.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more than one person that has cancer there.
Oh, by the way, 2 Roseland residents, William Tedesco and Christine Mariano, objected to the advocates' comments and took offense to members of the governing body being labeled as racists. And let it be known that those 2 people that said that are white. Thank you.
Well, that's another reason why we should go back. I knew there was I had another discrepancy with the letter, with her article. But, you were just bringing up the fact that there was racist emails that went between former council members. But,
right.
You didn't get to tell them that prohibition in itself is, racist. So.
Oh, we didn't go there. I didn't go. Yeah, to Harry Anslinger.
No, we didn't even.
Oh, it's gonna get ugly next time. Yeah.
Well, we should just go back and see how they felt about the whole thing and explain to the mayor that it's not easy for patients to put themselves out there. And
well, Jeff couldn't make it. Jeff was sick. Jeff was throwing up that night, and he was trying to get up there because
right.
when Jeff speaks, it's all over.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty powerful stuff. But as far as the home grow, we just need a good amount of signatures. I emailed everybody that was on the last petition. Hopefully they'll respond soon, and we can get the ball rolling on getting some legislation. And then that's a whole other thing. Jim's pretty confident, they can't. It's pretty hard to back away from something when they've been showed that you know, as time has moved on, you know, like the report just came out this week that pretty much the whole legalization plan was pretty greedy, and you know, it hasn't been. They were kind of banking on it to help patients, but you know, it didn't happen. So, you know, they're still waiting, and that's not good for people that are suffering. So, I mean, and I don't know, the committee, the Cannabis Regulatory Commission, should be. I thought they were going to be out already, but you know, it'll probably pop up one of these days. But you know, they're waiting on that to make pretty much all the decisions, and not, you know, who knows how long that's going to take. But I'm pretty sure I went on the health department's website, and you could see that there's vacancies in some of the positions there. So I'm sure, and they're hiring. So I'm sure they'll be those people will be going over there. But
some patients have concerns. They're concerned that right now the health department is totally for patients' rights. They're for home grow. They're for public consumption of patients' medicine. This new commission that's being set up, are they going to have control over patients' rights so that they can control, like, using the Smoke-Free Air Act? Because right now, we're covered under the Smoke-Free Air Act. Are non-patients allowed to smoke in public as patients are allowed to?
I don't think they have any intention on that. In fact, I think it was in there that that's not the case. And I don't think they plan on changing it for patients.
Right. Patients will not be affected by any recreational law, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to advocate for legalization and also advocate for, you know, medical cannabis when legalization could hurt, you know, the medical program in the beginning. But I mean, they both need to be done. It's just they need to be done right, and that's not what, doesn't look like that's what the state is planning. So that's the issue. And you know, we've given Sweeney and Scutari, kind of let them off too much. And thank you. And because, you know, Ken wrote a letter in, I think it was August, to Sweeney saying that, you know, we'll support your legalization if you support home cultivation. And he didn't get a response, but, you know, that's pretty much where it's at. That's pretty much what's needed. So they can't be. I think that's how Illinois was able to get it, by saying that you know, it's gonna hurt patients. You have to do something, but you know, I think they had compassion because you know, they sold a lot. There wasn't a lot for patients. And even though they say, you know, Scutari had a stipulation that the dispensaries had to, that the ATCs had to show that they would have enough, you know, it really depends on the licensing too, which has been kind of had its issues. So yeah, that's pretty much. I think they're still banking on legalization for helping reduce the price of medical, because it's in the law. You know, if you can prove hardship, they should give it to you at a reasonable price, like a reduced price, or for free. But we don't know what the rules are until the commission is set up and they create them. So, but I don't know how they would even do it, considering they don't have the cannabis to do it. So right now,
Right.
And the patient numbers are growing, and I would say half of them, at least, financial hardship, maybe more.
Yeah.
So, and as I told Jeff Brown, his solution was patient co-op. But when I went through everything with him, he agreed that these are people that would be in competition with businesses. So, and they'd have to comply with a lot of things, and it costs a lot of money. And the whole point is to have it so it reduces the price. But yeah, I know. I still have an issue with Jeff Brown not wanting to create some kind of polling for the patients, where they can share their feedback with program.
Right.
That's why I keep telling patients, even if it seems like an annoying complaint, they need to know. They should know everything that's an issue. And maybe if he gets bombarded enough, they'll do something. But really, that kind of polling, where you can, like the Department of Vehicles, you can do a survey saying, how they served you, or how the experience was, or what can be done to improve it. And that has to be done through the Attorney General's office. So I've been trying to contact them for the descheduling, which, they seem to just, they say they need more time to go over the information, which they've had. It's going to be 2 years now in a couple months. So I think they've had a long enough. In the World Health Organization, they came out with their rescheduling a couple days ago. So I don't know, but the federal, that's like really, really what needs to be done. But the state should have done it already, especially since the law, recognizes people having medical necessity to the plant. I mean, that by itself should solve the issue.
Please.
But I'm not a lawyer.
Please. They shall grow. Hashtag they shall grow, please. I can't take it anymore.
Yeah, they just...
But I have confidence in you. I definitely have faith and confidence and hope in you. So take us over the goal line, Joanne, please.
Well, you know what? The patients really are, like Ken told me, the patients were really the ones who got the original Kuma passed, just getting out there and telling the legislators, their necessity. And, it's the same. It's going to take that with home grow too, because there is a necessity. I read people's comments every day. I listen to people's complaints every day. And, that's what I'm hearing. So, and for me, we weren't patients, but we definitely used it medicinally. That's like,
spiritually too.
That's the great thing about Jake's Law being passed is that it did help, legitimize it more with more people. And it only took 10 years, but
Only 10 years? That's not much.
That was Christy's fault. What's that?
It's only 1,000 patients die a year.
Yeah, it was one condition. PTSD doubled the patients in like a year.
Yeah, sure did.
So, then they opened it up, and I think it's still the amount of doctors that's an issue.
Most doctors don't know they can prescribe it or recommend it.
Yeah, and I know someone in my family has epilepsy, and they asked their doctor, and this was a few years ago, but they said the doctor said it's not even worth it. It's too expensive. You won't be able to afford it. You have to make your own oil.
He's right. He's right. He's absolutely right. Smart doctor.
And I was happy that this family member inquired about it, but since then, I guess because of what this doctor said, they're just against legalization. So maybe they're upset about that, but
they should be growing it themselves.
Right.
I would just grow it. Just grow it. Just do it. I'm telling you all you out there can hear me. Grow your own weed. Don't wait for the government. You don't need consent. Do it.
I am the law. No man's right.
That's the other thing too. When we tried to fight it in court, and our lawyers were like, "This is Bergen County. You really run the risk of having a jury that's not in your favor." So, I couldn't. If it was just him and I, that's one thing. But with my children, it's another. So.
Yeah, they ruined your life. They took your kids away. They took everything away. These people, for a plant. Disgusting.
Yeah, I'm like the living dead. Really, that's how I feel.
Ugh.
Yep.
People. Uncompassionate, fake Christians. That's what they are. Half of these people are fake Christians.
Yeah, well, if they knew that, it possibly could be the healing oil of Jesus, and that he was an herbalist, that, even though that he had powers, without it, but you need something tangible for people here.
The anointing oil was very expensive. He used to wash people's feet with anointing oil. He used to anoint people with anointing oil. And it's very expensive to even make it back then. It's a very rich oil.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff in there, too. It wasn't just cannabis. It was like frankincense, myrrh, a bunch of stuff is in there. Pound of hash. Yeah, it's in the Bible. The Bible calls for a pound of hash. It says calamus or calamus. But let me tell you, there was no such thing. That's a sweet. You wouldn't want to use calamus in your oil. But let me tell you what. You'd use whatever you had. Back in those days, you used whatever you had. If you had cannabis, you used it. If you had sugar cane, you used sugar cane. If you're lucky to have cannabis, sure, you use your cannabis. You use whatever you had to anoint the oil on the people. Whatever you had.
Well, it would make sense to be cannabis, considering that it's helped so many.
Yeah.
In this day, so.
Good stuff. You talk to Ann Armstrong, she'll tell you that the cannabis is throughout the Bible. Like the burning bush was cannabis bush. I'm like, wow, never thought about that, and now I do.
Right. Well, and you think we have an endocannabinoid system? Like, why would we have that if the one plant that has like the most cannabinoids be?
Yeah. Why did God give us this?
Not for our purpose.
Yeah, God gave us this endocannabinoid system for what reason? To not fill it or to fill it? Let's fill it up and see what happens. And look what happens. Hey, it helps us. Wow. What a surprise.
Well, yeah. And that's like Senator Cardinale. His big thing is how damaging it is to the brain.
Oh, that guy. He's brain damaged. He's freaking 105 years old.
Yeah.
Who's listening to him?
I don't know. He's up here in Bergen County.
I know.
So.
I know.
Sadly.
Yeah, another jerk. Uncompassionate. He's one of those fake Christians I was telling you about. Oh yeah, he's one of them. Putting those last people last. Let's take the sick and dying and put more friggin' hoops in front of them and give them more things to do. Really? Give them more hurdles to jump through for the sick and the dying. It's disgusting behavior. Horrible.
Yeah, and I mean, with the opioid thing the other day, a lot of people were on there saying how cannabis has helped them, and you know that's the state recognizes that, but you know they're still not providing, and they really, you know, they're so worried about the illicit market, yet they everything they've done is only made it stronger. Until, you know, people are going around thinking it's legal. They hear, you know, they're talking about legalization for the last year, like it's legal. But I don't know. We have to get it going though. I'm curious though how your position on home grow in the ballot question. If you have some insider information.
Well, it's cultivation's in there. It does say cultivation.
Yeah, but the way it's worded, it really sounds like it's cultivation for who they choose.
Well, that's how it always is, but we got to fix that. We got to become one of the chosen ones. How do we become a chosen one?
But yes, legalization will help in the sense that it's out of their hands now. So I can say to them, you know, this plan, you know, will hurt people, the people you're trying to help.
Yep. Being hurtful.
So you have to do something. And it's his, he's the one who did it all. So he's really got to do it. And he says, like he said he's not personally against it, but he's not putting it in there. And I don't know if that at the time was to the public, or, you know, for his financial backing. I don't know. Backers, but yeah, hopefully Jim and I can rally the patients. We have a few in those specific districts.
Yes.
So once we get enough people to sign, send it out, and hopefully have some meetings and get that. So.
Awesome, Joanne. Awesome.
And yeah, I am looking forward to 420 at the State House.
Woohoo!
It'll be my sixth 420 at the State House.
Let's make it a big one. Let's get people out there. It's gonna be a big rally. Yeah. Let's have a picnic. Let's do it. Let's do this.
Well, yeah, I don't know if Herb Funk will be in Brazil or not, but if not, I wanted him to do another DJ set on the State House lawn.
Yeah, that'd be great. All right, let's plan this out.
Yeah, we got a whole home grow set.
All right, Joanne Zito from CMMNJ, thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks. Peace.
Awesome. She is the best. She is such a hard worker. She's a blogger. She's a mad blogger. Just goes nuts with information. Overloads you with information, which I love. Just give it to me. Give me all that stuff. And she does it every time. And she comes correct with all her stuff. Factual. Very good information. If you're following Joanne, you're a very lucky person because she's got all the information that you need to know about cannabis in New Jersey here. So there you go. Let's give one more call here. Oh, we got one coming in. Hello, you're on the air. You're on the air.
What are you up to?
Hi, Richie. How you doing, buddy?
Chilling and grilling, as the saying goes, man.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I just tuned in, and I really enjoyed all the information that Joanne Zito has been sharing on the show.
Man, right?
She is such a help.
She is the best. We're lucky to have
Everyone
her.
who loves Joanne listening at home, raise your hand.
Raise
Lefty,
your dipper.
raise
Raise
your
your bong. Raise your joint.
Yeah, razor joints.
Raise your joint.
Nice.
Raise your joints.
Oh, man. When are we going to hang out, Lefty?
Soon.
You said that last time, and
What-
that was months ago.
Why aren't you here doing a podcast with me?
Because I wasn't invited.
All right, well, you're invited next week. Come up and do a podcast with me, please.
I can't.
See, that's why I
I'm
don't
gonna be in
ask you.
Vermont.
This is why I don't ask you. Because you always...
Oh, stop it. Hey, man, I'm home more times than you think, dude. I would love to come up there and chill with you, bro.
On a Thursday. You know I do Thursdays, so...
Indeed.
I could do it earlier. We could do an earlier one. Want to do 4:20? Want to do a high noon? 11:11.
High noon.
High noon's a good one.
Meet me at high noon.
11:11 we could do. 1:11 we could do. 2:22.
Song hits at noon.
3:33. 4:44.
Hey, look, there is the empty Bongholio there in the corner, bro.
A triple nickel. Whatever time you want, man. We got all the times covered. We have to start at the magical time, and we're good.
Well, suppose I come by after I'm done working, like at 3:30 or 4 in the morning.
We could do a 8:08. How about an 8:08 in the morning?
8:08? No, that is my bedtime, dude. I work odd hours. It's crazy.
11:11. Let's do 11:11.
Huh. So what else has been going on? When are you guys going to be doing the podcast with Trent again?
4:20. Well, we're doing rallies this year. I don't think we're going to do a podcast. We're going to do rallies.
A weekly rally?
No, a monthly rally every fourth Thursday, except for the first two.
Well, that certainly saves you a lot of lugging around a bunch of shit.
I'm having surgery, bro. I can't.
You're right.
I got to take it easy this year.
Yeah, I think so too. You have some pretty serious problems with that neck.
My neck, my
and the
arm
screw coming out of you.
I got no money for this shit anymore.
You got to do something about those awful hickeys on your back.
Oh, did you see that? It was gross, right?
Yeah. No, it's not really gross, dude. I totally understand.
It feels good. I like it.
Everyone who loves Lefty and wants to see him get better soon, you raise your hands now, motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh, I can't raise my arm. It hurts. Oh,
oh, stop it. Don't be a pussy.
It does hurt. It hurts.
Sorry,
you don't understand.
Can I hurt your feelings again?
I'm in a lot of pain, man.
I know.
You hurt my feelings and my arm.
Okay, then raise up your pinky. Pinky for Lefty.
Yeah.
One in the pink. How many in the sink?
Oh, come on. We're not doing the shock jock thing, you shock jock. We're not doing that tonight.
Okay, I'll shut up.
Serious inquiries only.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Hey, man, what is the date that you're going to be doing?
That's not even funny, Richie. You didn't even ask a question. You have to get the question out first. Not even funny, bro. Not even funny. Oh, it's not the act. Oh, no. It's not it. Where is the right audio here? Shoot. Oh. Here we go. Let's try this. I guess it's getting late.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 7
Blah, 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 blah.
The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time.
Hurtful.
Goodbye.
Hurtful. It's going to leave him a 20-minute message. Well, anyway. Hurtful. All right. Let's try this one. We'll get to the end of the show here.
Hello.
You're on the air.
I'm on the air again. Oh, wow.
CMMNJ.org. SativaCross.com, MagicalButter.com, UFCW Local 152, DavidVersusAutism.org, Medical-Freedom.com, NewJerseyWeedman.com, New Jersey Grannies for Grass, JacksonStorms.com, Arlo Glass, OprahMachine.com, JacksonStorms.com, whoops, Pure Puff Vapor Supply.
That was like, I can have some more enthusiasm there. Yahoo! Stupid.
Sativa Cross West.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Sativa Cross West. How are you?
Hey.
Hey.
Hey from the West Coast.
Hey.
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 Good show?
Good show.
Good show.
Good show. I couldn't get Jeff on the phone. He's tired. I'm sure he's beat.
I was there.
Or he could be at the track. Yeah, he could be. You never know with him.
Oh, my goodness.
He could be smoking a big fatty at the track right now. And I hope he's at the track smoking a big fatty.
Good for him. I hope he is.
I hope he is right now. Sometimes you catch him there. I'll be there Saturday for my birthday. I'll be an old man partying at the track.
Like 60?
Yeah, I'll be partying with the old man at the track. They'll be smoking their cigars, and I'll be smoking my big fat dipper.
Oh, you could get Cannagars.
Dipper Doc dabbing.
I smoked on a really good one.
Yeah, but you said it to all the boys.
Right. Why can't I find the group for Sativa Cross?
With the producers
What
group?
name did you change it to?
Sativa Cross Producers.
Yeah, with the poem.
It's here. Sativa
Well, why can't I find
Cross
you?
Producers. What? Come on. Hold on.
Come on now. You might be a redneck.
Do I really have to tag you in this right now?
Yeah, because you keep on changing the names. Oh my God. Or did you block me?
Oh my God. You're probably blocked. When in doubt, you're probably blocked. You probably did something stupid.
I'm thinking I'm blocked.
Yeah, you probably did something stupid. And I blocked you.
Stupid.
Stupid. All right.
Oh, that's a for true.
Well, I just tagged you, so.
Oh, I found it. Thank you. So I just sold my first commercial slot for my podcast.
To who?
Well, I don't know if they want to be known. I have to, talk to them.
I think that's the point of having a commercial spot is for you to talk about them.
Well, it's good to be a business.
Okay.
Oh, I could tell you the business. Arlo Glass.
Oh, I love Arlo Glass. I'm wearing Arlo Glass right now. I wear his stuff all the time. It's right here.
It's the best.
That's all I wear. It's the only
I hope
magical.
you were close too.
Yeah, it's the only magical stones I'll ever wear. I don't wear any other magical stones other than Arlo Glass. It's the best. The best.
He is one of your sponsors.
He's been very helpful over the years.
He has.
Yes.
In many different ways.
Yes, in ways I can't even talk about.
We love Arlo Glass.
We do.
In ways you can't talk about.
No.
Wow, it's worse than Shock Jock.
Oh, yeah.
Shock Jock.
Shock Jock. Okay, here's our list.
All right.
Let's get everybody sad now. You all
Okay.
done being happy?
Get your tissues.
You all done? Get all your happies out because now it's going to get really sad.
Yep.
Because that woman we were talking about with Jim Miller, well, Cheryl Miller starts our list off right here. And Cheryl Miller was pushed around by Jim in her gurney around New Jersey because she couldn't move her legs or her arms or her body. So Jim used to push her bed around the state so that she can fight for medical cannabis, even though she knew she wouldn't get it in her lifetime. And she fought with her head, her eyes, and her mouth and her ears. That's all she could do. And that's what she did. And that's why Jim keeps talking about how Jeff reminds him of Cheryl.
And that's why you have Jeff's Law.
Because it's the same fight. It's the same kind of fight where there's somebody fighting for their life, and they're also fighting for you at the same time, knowing that their life is going to end, but that fight's going to continue.
Yep. And that's what we're doing. We're here to make a difference.
That's why Jeff's
and
my
be the
hero.
difference.
Yeah, that's why Cheryl's my hero. Jeff is my hero. It's just inspiring to see that, and for me to not want to fight when I see them fighting and see them what they're doing. I mean, Jeff would come to a meeting with a chemo bag strapped to his fucking stomach.
God.
Are you kidding me?
I don't know if I could even do that.
He's out here fighting while he has no teeth in his mouth because they all got rotted away from the chemo. So he has to puree his friggin' food. All his food has to be pureed so he can eat.
What?
Yet he's still out here fighting. Still out here going to council meetings, going out here fighting.
That breaks my heart. Well, showing up is the most important part.
So Jeff's Law, and we're going to start a 501c3 called Jeff's Law.
I love it.
And we're going to raise money.
And I'm helping.
Yes,
as much as I can.
We're all going to be on this board. It's a bigger board than the other thing. We're all going to be involved actively and helpful, and we'll see who else wants to be involved. I think.
And even though I'm not there, doesn't mean I can't help.
No, you can be on the board.
You know, I'm a supporter. I'm an advertiser. I'm a promoter. I'm your biggest fan.
And I'm not kidding. Let's kick all the men out of here.
No, we need them too.
No, we don't need them.
They can lift the boxes.
Let them be the humble servants. If they're humble servants, that's fine. But
you can make them food.
All the guys get all. It's like so immature. I can't take it anymore. I'm immature, and if I could see people are immature, I can't take it. I can't. I'm trying very hard, and I can't take people that are immature, that can't handle pressure, that can't handle. This is pressure. Yeah, it's a little pressure. If you can't handle it, well, I'm sorry, but you got to be able to handle it. You gotta
check yourself.
Check yourself, man. Look at Jeff. Jeff's got pressure. You don't think Jeff has pressure?
Right.
Give me a
He's
break.
fucking dying.
Your pressure is nothing compared to Jeff's pressure. I don't want to hear your pressure.
Yeah.
I'm butthurt.
You said the wrong word.
Get the hell out of here.
Fuck off.
Really? Just take part.
Weed out the weak.
And weed out the weak. And that's
Either take part or do it yourself.
Go do it yourself. If you don't like what we're doing, do it yourself.
Right.
Yeah, that's
you
fine.
go buy all that equipment.
Yeah,
You go spend all that money.
Unbelievable.
You go find a team.
Go get your own team and do something.
Yeah.
Please do something. Get out of your bed and do something. Get off your ass. Stop playing video games and do something.
And you know what? Even when you don't have a team with you, you do it by yourself. Look at you right now. So thank you for what you do, Lefty.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sabina Rose was a 15-month-old baby
Yeah.
who had a 25-hour seizure. She died waiting for her medical cannabis card. We do this for her.
Yep, and we do it for Michael.
We do it for Diane, Gracie, Cindy Mae, Marie, Jack, Joan Ford.
And unfortunately, this list gets longer.
Randy Robertson, Polly Connolly, Bill Buckman, Chad. Jeremy was Joanne's husband. She was just on the phone with us, and
Oops, sorry.
Jeremy lost his life. They lost everything. They lost everything because of that raid on their house. Everything. Colette, Matt, Troy, Russ Perry, Roger, Jay, Ella, Hattie, Jackie, Anthony, Jake the Tank, Armando, Felicia, Lynn, Dan, Sean, Joyce, Lori, Frank, Brian, Flo, Carl, Thorne, Frank.
Wow, Thorne.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Remember how many times we talked to him?
I just, yeah.
I am the law. No man's right.
Frank, my brother-in-law,
Sorry.
and Terry.
Yep.
And then the last name on our list, I'm going to turn the show over to Honeyb Thomas. And what is your show going to be called? What's your show called?
Well, I'm Sativa Cross West.
Sativa Cross West is a show. Okay, just making sure.
Yes.
Okay, so
we're taking Sativa Cross out west.
So this is Honeyb from Sativa Cross West. Going to end the show. Take us home, Honeyb.
I'm so excited. Thank you. I appreciate it. So my podcast for the new 2020 vision is February 29th at 7:10 Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to be putting up all kinds of advertising and letting the word get out there. And thank you to Lefty for helping me. Crazy. So my son passed away from epilepsy March 5th, 2015. And this is what motivates me to have my first podcast. Because I want to help other people not go through the pain that I'm going through. And also to help motivate people to give 10% money, cannabis, time to someone in need. Because these people are sick, and they can't work. And cannabis is not medical prices. So that's got to change. How many people have to die before we change it? That's fucked up. I guess that should be our question. We should ask, how many more people have to die? You know, just like stoplights. Fucked up. So thanks for having him on your list and helping me to help others. I'm going to say a couple hashtags. Hashtag vote cannabis 2020. Hashtag vote cannabis. Hashtag they shall grow. And I really like that we're going to say the whole poem. Or is it a good part of it?
It's actually not the whole poem. It's 2 stanzas of the poem.
Oh.
But it's the stanza before that we like a lot too now. So we use this one. Yeah,
Okay.
I like this one a lot.
Well, here I go. Hashtag they shall grow. They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them.